Welcome back to Ozarks Fox AM. It is Wednesday, which means we get to visit with our good friend Michael Babcock at TMZ to get the scoop on today's hottest stories from LA. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
Of course, good to see you again. We look forward to these. We had such a blast last week. Our first Skype with you. We talked about it after the show. We're like, this is so much fun. We really appreciate you doing this.
Thanks for joining us.
I was excited when I knew today was the day. I was like, oh, I had so much fun last week. So I'm really looking forward to doing this every week. You guys are great.
Well, thank you so much.
What's happening? What's going on right now?
Well, I guess it's apropos to kind of start with what's going on across the country. Obviously, we've seen protests. And in Los Angeles, we've seen some celebrities who are getting involved in these protests. We've seen people from music, from acting, everyone from Machine Gun Kelly to Logan Paul, the YouTube star, with his ex-girlfriend, Jose Canseco's daughter, Youngblood, Halsey, who's one of the biggest musical stars in the world. So there have been a lot of big stars who have been on the streets protesting the killing of George Floyd. And, from everything that we've seen, they've been completely peaceful, but they have been out there with the other people who are protesting, and they are participating.
Wow. Yeah. Has there been any looting in the LA area?
Yeah, it's been rough. On Sunday in Santa Monica, it was very bad. A bunch of fires, structural fires, car fires, looting, and even over the last 2 days in Los Angeles, across the city, looting, fires. I think, obviously, the vast majority of the people who are out there are peaceful, but there are some people, there is an element of people who are doing really bad things, and there have been a lot of scary things, like I said, looting, smash glass fires, and arrests being made. So it's a tense situation out here in LA, like I think it is across the country.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And, of course, there are, like you say, a lot of peaceful people out there. But Santa Monica is such a beautiful area. And, of course, all over the country, we hate to see these things happen, I wish that we could all get together and kind of speak the same language. We all are against what has happened here. We are in agreement with that. But how we're handling is not exactly, we're not on the same page.
Right. I didn't hear a single person say what happened to George Floyd was nothing less than despicable. I agree with you. When there violence starts and the looting and the rioting, I think then the actual message, which is an important message and one that needs to be heard, that gets lost. So hopefully the violence will stop and anything peaceful can continue, and we can have the conversation that we probably do need to have. But the violence needs to stop. Innocent people can't be hurt.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I heard too that the memorial for Kobe, it's left intact. That's.
Yeah, that was actually very interesting. So Vanessa Bryant posted a bunch of photos of all these memorials, these murals that have popped up across the city, and there are a lot of them that are honoring Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi, who obviously tragically died in the helicopter crash a few months ago. And interesting, the murals have not been touched, and it's a strange scene. You'll see a small business that's been burnt down or looted, and right next to it, or even on the wall of that business, is a Kobe mural that hasn't been touched. And I know there have been mixed opinions on this. Some people have said, oh, that's so nice that Kobe is being respected. On the other hand, I know a lot of people are saying, well, it looks like then these looters are actually, there's some conscious decision, some thought going on there. So why did they then decide to wreck a small business of somebody who probably lives in your community? So again, something people aren't agreeing on the Kobe thing even, but nonetheless, these Kobe memorials and these murals have been untouched by the looters.
Well, that's a good thing. We'll look at that as a positive thing. One thing that's been untouched there, so that's a great thing. Yeah.
And, a story we talked about that broke yesterday that I know you guys are covering. I was outraged, Michael, okay? I watched Tiger King, okay? I watched it. All you cool cats and kittens out there, I think Carole Baskin is guilty of murder, and she got awarded the zoo.
It's got to be the ultimate, just like it ends the fight. It's over, right? She beat Joe Exotic. Like you said, you talked about this. So now Joe Zoo, which was his pride and joy, Carole is going to own it now. The funny part is we talked to Jeff Lowe, who was the guy who was kind of been babysitting the zoo while Joe was in prison, and really for the last few years. And Jeff says, she's not going to get anything. She's going to get a plot of dirt because I'm taking all of the exotic animals away. And he goes, oh, and by the way, have you heard the rumor of the Native American boy who is buried on the property. So I have no idea what that's about, but he's essentially saying that, hey, you're going to have nothing but dirt and the property's haunted. So enjoy the zoo. So,
wow.
You know, it sounds like Tiger King season 2 to me, though.
That's what I was going to say.
Exactly. Yes, I have read that. So she doesn't get the animals. So there you go.
But you know how ticked off. Just imagine Joe Exotic in prison right now. He has got to be, that's like the ultimate kick in the face, the final punch.
I agree. You know, it's like the only thing Joe Exotic ever wanted was to be famous. And now he's so famous, but he's behind bars. And they even lost his zoo to his nemesis. So Joe has got to be beside himself. Tough day to be Joe Exotic.
Well, how long is he in jail?
I know. When is he?
How long is he in jail?
Years. For 22 years.
Oh,
my gosh.
Okay, well, so who's going to take care of his animals? Okay, there you go.
Oh, my
That's
word.
terrible. That is terrible. Listen.
I tell you, I was thinking as soon as you were saying that, Tiger King 2 follows Carol Baskin as she gets the property and is haunted, by a Native American.
Wouldn't that be great? That'd be a great story.
I hope Netflix is watching this right now. They have to do it. We need it.
Oh my gosh.
That is fantastic.
What, I got to ask you, in LA, you know, we're here in Missouri. In LA, was Tiger King the big phenomenon there as it was here?
Absolutely. And that's all we talked about. That's all I heard people talk about for weeks. It engulfed everybody. It was all people talked about.
Come on, Michael, let's hear your best Carol Baskins impersonation. You know you do it.
No. Because you're high, cool cats and kittens. That was so good.
We do it over here.
We do it all the time, Michael, on our show. We love it.
Even as we were starting, I was like, that was a great impression. That was what was going through my mind. So I can't, I'll embarrass myself.
Well, my goal, Michael, I'm hoping that the investigation into Carol still continues because a lot of viewers, including myself, do think something happened to her first husband and we want justice. But I do think if Netflix is smart, they'll follow the continuing saga to see what happens next.
Obviously, people are interested in Carol Baskin, so I think there's another show there for sure.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Great to see you.
Guys.
We look forward to next Wednesday.
Me too. Have a great week.
You too.
Bye-bye. Okay.
And don't forget, you can catch TMZ weekdays at 5 and TMZ Live weeknights at 12:30.
That is right. He's so fun to talk to. Hey, we got to get out our jackets. He looked great.
We should wear denim day.
I have one. Yeah, all right. All right. So, yeah. Are we good?
All right. We'll be back right after this.
Yep.
That was good. He was so fun.
He was fun.
He is a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Oh, my goodness. That is so...